Ooh, I hate when it does that. Don't know why it does that. There we go. Happy what is left of Thursday. Welcome to a very, very short Midnight Express. I am dead ass tired, but I know it's been like 3 days since we last talked, and I don't like to go those kind of stretches. I've been working on our event this week. TROMANIA has been going on. It starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. So before we get to anything else, that's our major sponsor, obviously, is myself and Troma Pictures presents TROMANIA tomorrow, 6 p.m., Saturday, 6 p.m. Lloyd Kaufman is here in Vegas. My dad picked him up from the airport today. As a matter of fact, uh, I, my dad doesn't like to do selfies, but sort of made him do one here because I thought it was hilarious. Where is he at? Where's he at? Here we go. So for those of you who want to see what William Powell Sr. looks like, there you go. Basically an older version of me. So there he is. The Eagle has landed. There's my dad, his Air Force veteran's hat. Of course, I'm Army. Made him pose for a selfie just for the hell of it. And so Lloyd is here. Lloyd is at his hotel room. We will be bringing him over to the center tomorrow to get things going. First things up is going to be doing a live audio commentary with let's go to the thing. Here you go. Toxic Avengers first, then we'll be doing the not world premiere, Vegas premiere, because it's premiered in LA already, of another Troma movie, Eating Miss Campbell. And then we have a local director here named Heidi Moore. She will be world premiering, which means this is the first time anyone's ever seen her complete production of Kill Dolly Kill. That'll be Saturday. That's all in night one. Then we got a lot of Q&A, autograph sessions, merchandise stuff in the middle of that. Night two is Class of Nukem High, once again with Lloyd Kaufman doing audio commentary. So if anybody's who's local or anybody's making their way, if you ever had any questions about the making of Toxic Avenger or Class of Nukem High, this is going to be your chance to ask the man himself because he will be there. Then, ironically, a James Gunn film, James Gunn written film, Romeo and Juliet. And then we will wrap up the night with Lloyd's latest project, Shakespeare's Shitstorm. Two of these movies, Romeo and Juliet and Shakespeare's Shitstorm, are basically Shakespeare inspired. So, but it's added their own Troma touch to it. So there we go. So that's what I've been dealing with all day, getting him in from the airport, getting everything going, getting everything ready, just making sure everything is done ahead of time, so that I can just have fun with the event. A lot of time we do these events and they're a lot of work and I end up not enjoying myself, even though it looks like I'm having fun. Like the wrestling event, I had a lot of fun with, but this event, I really want to make sure all the kinks are out. So that's why you haven't seen me, because I really want to actually be a fan in this event instead of just somebody running it as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go and talk to the chat real quick. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And like we're gonna be, I'm gonna be doing my best on the Friday night overnight show to bring as much to you guys as possible in regards to live stream. I know we are going to be doing our Saturday overnighter, but we're going to incorporate a lot of Troma to it. I am going to be doing a live interview with Lloyd Kaufman that Saturday night while one of the movies is running. We're going to be outside doing an interview, and that will be directly to the network. We're going to probably stream the Q&A, the extended Q&A with him on Saturday night, and we'll probably do a couple of the Q&As and autograph sessions and stuff on the night. So I'm going to bring as much to you as I possibly can over the weekend, so you guys kind of see what's going on and have fun with it. But we'll do what we can is try to make it, keep our normal schedule, but at the same time, I'm going to be running around. But once these events start, though, it actually just goes and does its own thing. Once you hit play on any of these events, it actually, gets a little bit better. What's going on, Clint? Ghostly Visitor, how you doing, Ghostly? All right, Larry. I know Bence is here in Vegas too. You told me the writer's strike will be used as an excuse to cancel the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman film. They can cancel that if they wanted to without the writer's strike. Really, be honest with you, they really don't have to go forward with that if they don't want to at all. Yeah, maybe Gunn can call in. You know what? He has asked him on my behalf for an interview when but this is before he became DC head though. So I probably have no chance at that. But he does. He does. I mean, he knows him. He's just in Guardians of the Galaxy. He did a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy. And they still do talk. But like I said, it's like I'm on the lower end of that spectrum of people that Lloyd Kaufman knows. If there's like a totem pole of people, I'm not even on that totem pole. I'm a couple totem poles down at the bottom. So who knows if we'll ever make that connection. Based on what you've heard from people who have seen The Flash, does this movie retcon anything? Been wondering that. From what I heard, it just leaves things to be determined. That's about all I can really tell you. Nice. So Lloyd will be on the stream Saturday. Yes, Lloyd will be on the stream Saturday night. Lloyd will be on the stream a couple times Saturday night. When we do the extended Q&A after Shakespeare's Shitstorm, that is going to be streamed to you guys right as it's happening. William starts to be a chicken with his head cut off while I'll be a bastion of stability. That's the way. I mean, these events usually I over prepare, and there's a lot of paranoia that goes involved because there's so many moving parts when you're doing things like this. You got to make sure that your tech is right, the sound is right. And in this case, the logistics to bringing a guy all the way from the East Coast, setting up hotel room, doing all that stuff. It's just there's so many moving parts. You just got to account for all of them. So, but once you actually get the thing going, especially on a 2-night event, generally when a 2-night event happens, once the first night gets underway, the rest is easy. Hopefully, Michael B. Jordan can do a Calvin Ellis project. I'm up for that. Who knows? Hi, Christy Larson. She'll be there. She's my main trauma person here. One of my main trauma people here in Vegas. So hopefully I'll see her tomorrow, at least for one of the days. So yeah, she's part of Team Trauma in Vegas. I've done a lot of stuff with her. We've done all kinds of crazy stuff. We've done cannibal music. I mean, we've done crazy stuff. So yeah. Hopefully I'll see her tomorrow. Hopefully if you're local tomorrow. And if you're in Vegas or if you're in driving distance, go ahead and come out. I mean, like I said, you'll eventually be able to see these movies, on Trauma Now, Trauma app, or other independent outlets. But the one difference that you won't have is, you won't have Lloyd Kaufman sitting there with you, watching them and commentating on them. So that's going to be fun, and he'll be there. We have intermissions set up. Every movie, there's a half-hour intermission so that you can buy merchandise, go eat at the establishments, drink at the establishments, go to the bathroom, talk to him, take pictures with him, and then we get back to it. So it's the event is set up so that we didn't just cram one movie after another after another. There's 6 movies in 2 days. 3 of them are brand new movies. But we wanted to give people time to, relax and have fun at the event. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds like fun. Like I said, this is one of those things where I want to actually be a fan of my own event. So hopefully things go smoothly enough to where I can actually, kind of like do that. Because like I said, last time I was able to do that was a couple months ago when we did the wrestling event. Those guys did the work. They did the setup. They did everything else. And once we pushed the play button on that event, I was literally a wrestling fan, even though it was our event. So that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Michael B. Jordan Superman was outside. Yeah, like I said, we still may get those things. You still may. Yeah, I'm excited too. Like I said, got him from the hotel. Got him to his hotel today. He should be sleeping right now. But listen, that little guy's got a lot of energy. So don't be surprised if that Q&A goes a while, because he can outpace me, and he's closing in on 80. Like I said, but that's a long flight, so I'm figuring he's probably sleeping right now. Hopefully he's sleeping right now. Well, you need to have a panel of amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. I am not that important. Dude, I'm barely a YouTube nobody. I don't know if anybody locally would want to see a panel. I might get if you're talking about getting a table one time, I might get a table down there. I've been meaning to do that. Had they done it in June and July, I would have actually been at Amazing Comic Con, but they did it on April 28th this week, and that was a really, 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 really super packed week for me. So it was just bad. Like I said, I was really hoping they would have done it in later. But I understand why they had to. I think the reserving the convention center, it was more logistically plausible for them to do it this way. But I really enjoy Amazing Comic Con, Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. I really enjoy it. They have done an excellent job of putting it together. And each year they were growing and growing and growing. And eventually, like I said, Comic Con is a monolithic thing that's really, really huge. But at the same time, I've always thought that San Diego, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, is a horrible place for that convention in the modern era. It's not big enough. It's not designed for it. The convention center, I went to the very first Comic Con that was at the convention center in 1989, 1990. And at that time, it was different, but we didn't have Hall H. We didn't have a bunch of other stuff that wasn't comic books. It was strictly comic books. It was strictly artist alley, all that stuff. It has grown to the point where it's become a hassle to not only get seats, but it's really hard to move around there because it's so small. And in Vegas, the city is literally designed for what Comic Con is. You could literally, if you took the San Diego Convention Center, you could put it in the north wing of our convention center here in Las Vegas. It's that massive. And hotels, we're not going to run out of hotels for that. Not going to happen. And your hotels are not going to be sky high. San Diego, it gets pretty pricey because they know they got you racketed. Well, Vegas, we got just like 1 million hotel rooms here. You're not going to run out. And even some of the motels here are higher end. I mean, you're not going to run out of places to go. Transportation, it's all within that pocket. So I've always thought there was a time when they were leveraging. There was a thought that San Diego Comic Con could move to a place like Vegas. But if that's not going to happen, I would like to see Las Vegas Comic Con grow. I'm biased. I'm a Californian, but at the same time, Sci-Fi Center is literally 2 blocks away from that convention center. So we get a lot of business from it. So, yeah. Hi, Larsonator. This is the first time. This is the first time you've been on my stream, huh? I don't know if you've watched before, but it's cool seeing local people. How long do you think the writer strike might last? The one 0708 was about 3 months, but I think this one can go longer. I think this one could go longer because there's a lot more at stake. We did not have streaming like this. We didn't have streaming rights. We didn't have different corporate setups. So there's a lot more to be negotiated. So yeah, it could go longer. Are you going to talk about the new Toxic Creed? Yeah, everything's on the table. Everything. Troma is on the table, and what I'm going to try to do is set it up to where I can take questions from the chat while we're running the Q&A on the stage. I'm going to work that out. Yeah, Lloyd can go, man. Lloyd can go. I mean, like I said, the last time, there was a couple times he was here before where he said, hey, let's do a Q&A for about an hour. This man went for 4 solid hours. All right. And there was no shortage of questions. And he's like, and I'm like, hey, Joy, do you have do you need to get to the hotel? You sleep here. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he wore me out that night. All right, it's not so fully clear, but you are live streaming the Troma event this weekend. Never really been a Troma guy, but it's interesting investigating what it's all about. I'm going to be broadcasting certain aspects of it. So pretty much like our overnight Saturday night show, a lot of that is going to be Troma. Thade and Stella will be running the actual show because I will actually be doing live stuff, and running the show. But I'm going to pop in and out. And then when it comes to the Q&As, I'm going to try to get as much. We're going to do an interview, or once one of the movies is going out, we're going to take them outside. We're going to interview. That will be live to the show. And then when we do the Q&A, that will be live part of our streaming. So that will stream live. And anything else I can try to get in there, I will. William, could you get Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb to come to the Sci-Fi Center and have them do meet and greets? No, because that's really expensive. I would love to, but it's super expensive. And I don't have... I'm your low budget king. All right, the Sci-Fi Center is a low budget kingdom. I do a lot with nothing, but when it comes to getting those guys there, It's a little bit more because just their appearance fees alone are like, I got to be very careful with money these days when it comes to that. Hi, good. Hey, Rhea's here. Rhea's in my city, burning up. So I will see her tomorrow too. Yeah, up. I haven't. Okay, in all fairness, I haven't eaten at that buffet Asia since the pre-pandemic. So just the fact that a buffet survived the pandemic is a miracle. There's not too many of them around. I like buffet Asia, but maybe they've fallen off the cliff. What sucked? The prices, or did they just not have a lot of selection? You let me know. Well, I'll ask you tomorrow. Hey guys, what's going on? Any chance of a director's guild will strike? Yeah, there's a huge chance that they'll strike, and then that's why you're exactly right. And what they might do is is use that as a leverage to end it all and get their deal out of the way as well. Uh, all right. Yeah, smash the like button. Subscribe to our channel, Poindexter Lounge. Subscribe to the Sci-Fi Centers channel. All my social media. This is going to be my first time seeing these movies. Yeah, I screen tested some of these movies earlier tonight. Whew. Wow, they are batshit crazy, man. They are as crazy as any trauma I've seen. If you are easily offended, do not come to TROMANIA. You should know better. But if you are one of those, it's gratuitous everything. Eating Miss Campbell, and I've been trying to get that guy on the air, but he's in London. But Eating Miss Campbell is just wild, man. There's some crazy stuff in there, and then we got Kill. They're all wild movies. Just pretty much let your hair down movies, man. Hey, what's going on, man? You said Lloyd wore you out. Oh, very funny. He did, but not that way. Zaslav had the worst take on the strike. Yeah, he thinks that the love of making films will resolve everything. They're not begging for more scripts to write. Yeah, I'm starting to worry about David Zaslav. Like I said, anything within his predecessors was a better, you know. But at the same time, he's done some things that are, I'm still on board, but I'm starting to get a little bit on the worried side when it comes to him. Like I said, the decision for to bring in a new DC head before you cleaned up and consolidated what you had, I think could come back and really hurt some really good movies. So, but yeah, and that strike thing wasn't good at all. How you doing, Jason Eves? Long time no see, homie. All right. The buffets are, dude. Prior to the pandemic, the buffets, like there was a buffet right across the street from the center called China Star. I love that place, man, and they always took care of me, dude. Technically they want you sitting there, but they knew I ran a business across the street, so they would allow me to stuff as much as I could into their container and then get an extra bowl on top, and it was good food. They had some of the best seafood, but once again, COVID really destroyed a lot of buffets and really affected adversely how the quality of them as well, the ones who were able to survive. So, oh. William, what's the best casino to go to? I don't know. I don't go to casinos. The only reason I go to casinos is for the movie theaters. And be honest with you, they all have equal. You could go to Palace Station, Cinnabar. That's a nice one, but I'm a cheap ass. So I just nothing I need to hit the button for. I don't need you bringing wine. I don't drink liquor. Never have. I don't need you to bring me a steak. I'll just go to Fat Burger downstairs. So the best things about for me as a person who's currently living here is the theaters because I don't gamble. So I can answer that question for you. The NFL schedule release got 2 tickets for me and homegirl, Dallas Cowboys at Los Angeles Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Let's go. Yeah, that's a really nice stadium. That's a really nice stadium. All right. Let's see. Waving at everybody. I'm a big fan of John Waters. If you ever have a festival for him, I'm pulling up for that too. We already did. We had there's a lady here named Polly. She's a hardcore John Waters fan, and we did one of hers. We did Desperate Living, and I don't know if I can unsee that movie. The things that happen with a shotgun and where a shotgun is placed in that movie will leave you breathless, man. So I saw one review that said Suicide Squad was basically a trauma movie with a budget. Sounds accurate between guns, trauma, background. No, no. I've seen just about every trauma movie, and I've seen every James Gunn movie. It's not trauma with a budget. Uh, some of the only way you can really compare trauma to the Suicide Squad is some of the over the top violence. But in Suicide Squad, yeah, it's done with a budget. As far as the storytelling, no, no. Trauma movies are trauma movies. Trauma movies are a absolute suspension of disbelief on a level that you can just have fun. Um, the you're still doing basic cinematic character building in the Suicide Squad. It's still a DC movie. It is still a comic movie. The violence, yeah, you could probably compare the violence and then add the budget to that. But as far as the storytelling aspect of it, no. When you're making trauma movies for just outright fun and hilarity. It's not the same goal, and you could seriously tell the difference if you've seen enough trauma. That's just my opinion, though. Somebody could watch Toxic Avenger and be like, "Oh my goodness, that's just like Suicide Squad." So that's subjective, but my opinion, no. William, funny story about Vegas. They're all funny. I got married by Elvis on 666. Half it was pretty much a joke marriage that lasted only a few months. I have no regrets. There you go. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That half was a weird autocorrect. Sorry. Yeah, it's late. The buffet food was greasy, chewy, and not too much flavor. I got chicken skewers, poached whitefish, spicy jalapeno, chicken, beef, steak, and pickled ginger. Okay, so when I go to that particular buffet, I go for their seafood because they got seafood that you really can't get at any other buffet. Their other stuff is standard. I don't think they pride themselves in the other stuff, but that seafood that they got there, and then like I said, it's been pre-pandemic, so talking 3 years, they could have completely gone off the cliff. But the last time I ate there, it for it was a seafood. They were the best seafood buffet in town at the time. I didn't see the Mongolian grill until I was exiting. Should have gone that. Yeah, that's super expensive though. I've eaten there. It's great food, but once again, we're dealing with ramen dollars. So I ate there for my birthday a couple of years back. Yeah, I bet it hurt Vegas culture more than a lot of cities. I know one guy who moved to New York from Vegas due to lack of work. Plus, yeah, it kind of destroyed the city for a while. It kind of destroyed because this city relies on you being able to come from where you're at and be in a community, be in clubs, be in crowds, be in casinos, shoulder to shoulder with people, being at the buffets, and all of that was things that you could not do during the pandemic. Don't know. I don't eat a lot of barbecue, so I couldn't tell you. Sorry. Well, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, like I said, the old man does not like taking selfies, but he had fun with they're 3 years apart in age, so they had a lot to relate to. But yeah, I told him I wanted to, because that's usually me picking up from the airport and getting a selfie, but I couldn't be there today. So a William Powell did pick up Lloyd Coppin from the airport. It just happened to be William Powell Sr. and not William Powell Jr. I'm so sad I missed the water skiing. He's an auteur and a national treasure. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Yeah, Raiders Stadium was built by the same architects who did SoFi. Yeah, yeah. Suicide Squad is very tame. Like I said, there's over the top violence in Suicide Squad, but nowhere near like some of you guys that are going to be coming to tomorrow night. Dude, and like I said, I have pre-screenings just to make sure that they all work. Wow, and this is pushing trauma boundaries for me. That's saying something because obviously these are new films. So some of the new ones, Shakespeare's Shitstorm is hilarious, man. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that for those of you who are able to witness that live with Lloyd. But yeah, though I have not, I have been slammed. I might go see it. No, I might take a day of unwinding and go see it on Sunday. I stay there every time, but um, I'll get around to it. But I still haven't seen Evil Dead Rise. And I want to see that before it hits streaming. I need to see the Raiders Stadium, even though I don't follow sports at all. The team is very nostalgic for me, and I love repping them. I like having a stadium here because it gives us It gives us a venue for high-end events like WrestleMania, when WrestleMania is ever good again. But like World Cup, Super Bowls, big, Rolling Stones level concerts. And since we are a state with no sales, with no income tax, no state income tax, the only way we really bring in money is by whoring ourselves to the casinos, the silver industry, or sales tax and hotel tax that's brought in by visitors. So when you every sports team that comes here, people are like, we don't need this, we don't need that. I'm like, yeah, you do, because if you notice, I've noticed just from the tourism that comes to the store. It used to be like when my parents' generation, they came out here every 6 months, they saved a bunch of money and they went gambling. Now you could be headed to Vegas and have nothing to do with the casinos. You could be out here for UFC, have nothing to do with the casinos. You could be out here for the rodeo, nothing to do with casinos, a whole Final Four, all kinds of stuff. You may do a little bit of gambling, but it may not be the thing. The younger generation just doesn't have that kind of disposable income to throw thousands on top of thousands on the high roller table or anything else. They're coming to Vegas for the legend of Vegas and to come to the clubs, EDC. There are people who come in and bypass the casinos and go straight out to Nellis and do that, that crazy dance for a couple of days. So yeah, I like having things like the Golden Knights here. Not that I like the Golden Knights or the Raiders or anything else. We got the A's and went out here because they are venues that bring people to your city and add money to your city. And you know what? They bring in tourist traffic. So I'm happy. Okay. Yeah, live game is fun. Ramen dollars, literally, that is what I exist on. That is my capital and currency, ramen dollars. Sharks fan. Oh, that I didn't need to hear that about you, Ray. I hope everything is getting back in swing. New York City is pretty much back, but there are certain 24-hour places that start. Same here. Vegas pre-pandemic used to be a 24-hour town. I think they used the pandemic to not be open 24 hours, which sucks. I might as well live in Utah. I went to my first live hockey game last month. Los Angeles Kings versus Anaheim Ducks. Kings won. Woohoo! That's my team. The only 24-hour place I saw in Vegas other than casinos is Subway on the outskirts. Yeah, everything. And then you'll find a McDonald's and you'll see the line wrapped around a McDonald's because that's the only thing open right now. I have not seen Infinity Pool yet. I don't think so. Dave was asking me about that. Dave saw it. How you doing, Anthony? I'll get with you offline on that one. The event starts at 6, but I may need your help in a specific area. I'll let you know. Yeah, the A's are moving they got to get out of that seat. If you're coming to Vegas, try to spend some time downtown, not the strip. You'll see strange people doing strange things. All right. Yeah, that was how I met. I think Christy, if you're still here, I think that's how I met Christy. They hosted that. Yeah, she's been here before. All right, guys, this was just a quick jump in, just to let you say hi because it's been a couple days. I am going to do some editing for some of the commercials and sponsors that we got running tomorrow, and then I'm actually going to do something I generally don't do and be disciplined. And I'm actually going to go to bed early here, probably within the next hour. So I will. Yep, I'll see you tomorrow, Chrissy. Let's see, William, since Utah's right next to you, do you guys have a huge Amish contingent? Not that I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure we do, but I've never seen them. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. I also, I'll go forever, so I will stream a little bit tomorrow, but there will be no Star Trek Live tomorrow. We're going to resume that next week. But there will be a lot of me over the weekend throughout this Troma event, and then we'll anchor everything to the overnight show on Saturday. We'll do the live stream of the Q&A as best we can from there. I'll get you the live interview from Lloyd one-on-one while we're there. And as much as I can bring to you throughout the weekend, I will. And then, like I said, we'll pull it all on the overnight live show that's at 9:30. So hope you guys, if you're local and you're able to make it, great. If not, I will try to include as many of you as possible into the events once things get settled down. And that's it. That's all. I will see you guys at some point tomorrow or throughout the weekend. Bye.